So the Women's Prize winner for 2024 is just to be announced, but before we get to that, I thought I would rank the shortlist, all of which I've read, and let me tell you, it's not going to be a popular one. Hi, my name is Kim, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new to me, I am a lover of literary fiction, and if you couldn't tell by the name of this channel, I love the Booker Prize, and I also follow the International Booker, of course the Women's Prize, and Panda Reads. So, let's get to the rankings. So I thought I would rank the books from my least favorite to my winner prediction, and then we could go see who won this year. And by no means, when I say that I'm ranking them in order and this is my least favorite, I think that this is a really, really strong shortlist, and all the books are amazing. Well, maybe one and a half, but we'll get to that. As I said, I think that this is a bit of a controversial list because it doesn't follow what the majority of people have thought. But let's get to it. So in sixth place, I'm going to rank Soldier Sailor by Claire Kilroy. And I listened to it on audio, and it was narrated by Simone Collins. Very briefly, it's about a first-time mother who is grappling with motherhood and with a horrible husband. And I really did not like this book. I thought that the characters were really one-dimensional. And maybe it was because I was listening to it on audiobook, and that the narrator was very, very fraught with anxiety. But I think that that would translate onto the page just as well. There was really too much overwhelming overreactiveness that was going on. It was the baby, the bird, the husband. There was just trauma and anxiety happening on levels that I didn't feel that was believable. I mean, I really felt that it was overwrought and forced, and heavy-handed. I think that this, if it had done it in a more subtle way, and if the characters were more believable, it would have come across a lot better. Now, full disclosure, I have no kids, so perhaps you could criticize my reaction and say that because I haven't gone through that experience, I wouldn't know how relatable this plot and these characters are. But I think that that's the magic of books, that they're able to transport you into different environments and through different experiences. And this shortlist certainly did transport me to many, many places in such beautifully articulate and wonderful ways. So in fifth, I'm going to, and probably most of you will agree with me, list Restless Dolly Maunder by Kate Grenfell. And it makes me a little sad to say that this is not going to be the winner and that I really didn't like this book, because I love Kate Grenfell. When I heard that she was writing a new book this year, or a new book by her was coming out, I was thrilled. It was one of my most anticipated reads for this year, but it really, really fell short for me. So this is a historical novel, and it is Kate Grenfell writing about her grandmother in Australia. I didn't get a sense of place from this book, and I really felt that it was forced, kind of in the same way as Soldier Sailor, in that Kate knew about certain things that happened to her grandmother, and she was kind of forced to put them in here. I felt like she was just saying, okay, chapter 1, here's that post-it note, I'm going to write about this. Chapter 2. I wonder if this wouldn't have been a better nonfiction book or a memoir in which she could have got more of her grandmother's personality across. My favorite part of the book is the ending scene, and the afterwards, in which Kate talks in a non-fictional way about her grandmother. So I'm just wondering if this is another one that's missed its mark as well. But by all means, don't let this book put you off of great Kate Grenfell. She is an amazing writer. Her other 2 fictional books are incredible. So just head to those first. So in fourth place, I'm going to say Enter Ghost by Isabella Hamad, and I listened to this on audio, and it was narrated by Nadia Albina. Now, I think that this is an excellent book, and I know it's kind of another one of the darlings of YouTube and favored to win. And I love the fact that it's, a patriot from England who's coming back to Palestine and navigating the waters. I love, and in which the main character is an actress, and she gets involved in a play of Shakespeare's called Hamlet, which you all probably know. Yes, I know, I'm boring you, Ripley. I loved the fact that her relationship that is disintegrating is paralleled along with the civil unrest and sort of the culmination of everything at the end of the play. There were some scenes that really stuck out to me, especially when the main character is meeting new people and she tries to find similarities in them, and when she can't, she's disappointed and she finds it very disruptive. And it's beautifully written, and I think that it's well paced. I just wouldn't put it to win. So in third place, I'm going to put The Wren by Anne Enright. And this is such a beautifully it's such a beautifully subtle book. I love the structure. Well, first, quick plot. It is about a woman who is reconciling her sense of identity and her relationship with her mother and her grandfather. I loved the structure, and Anne Enright does such an amazing way of weaving the different narratives back and forth, and the fact that the grandfather gets a voice in this too, I thought was lovely. It really gave me Elizabeth Strout vibes, and I couldn't put it down. And the poetry, I am not normally entranced by poetry, but Anne Wright and can write poetry. It was lovely. I'm amazed that she was able to write all these vignettes and these three different characters and intersperse it with poetry and poems in such a delightful way. And these last three books that I'm listing, I would be thrilled if any of them won. Now, in second place, and I had to think a lot about this, but I'm going to say River East, River West by Abe Ray Lescure. Beautiful, beautiful cover. Um, and I love this book. So in terms of plot, it is about a teenage girl who is reconciling, coming to age, and trying to understand her mother and her stepfather. And the structure is set out in such a way in that it rotates from that timeline with the young girl, Alva. I think it's in 2008, and then it goes back to the stepfather's story and the mother's story. I love the reverse immigration story. So her mother is an American. She came to Shanghai. She likes Shanghai for certain reasons. And then Alva is born, and Alva doesn't know where she fits in, which is part to do with the lovely title as well. And I liked the fact that the reader knows about the stepfather in ways that the Alva in 20 years later has yet to discover. And I love the pacing of this book. I love how everything came together at the end in such an incredible way. And that ending is why it didn't make first place for me, or why I'm not predicting it as a winner. And while I thought that the ending came together, and no spoilers for this, I just thought it was too Disney for me. I just didn't believe that there was this full circle. I would have preferred to leave some of the edginess to the ending. Nevertheless, as you can tell, my pick for the winner is Breathless Night by Vivi Ganeshanahan, and I listened to it on audio, and it is narrated by Nirmala Rajasingham. And I adored this book. This book is about a woman in Sri Lanka who, as a young girl, wants to become a doctor. And it is in the midst of a civil war. And it is an epic tale in terms of timeline and how her family slowly changes, as you can guess by the title of the book. Um, I was transported to this world in such a way that I think is extraordinary. I had such a feeling of, and I've never been there, but there was such a good sense of where Sashi was and what her house looked like and what her walk to school was like and her grandmother's house. I really thought that that was so incredibly done. This is one of those rare books where when you sit down to read, your whole world just disappears. And Sashi, I loved following her along and watching her navigate such unbelievable tragedies and such wastefulness in terms of fighting, and how she slowly realized her own truth and how hard she fought. I mean, Sashi was so real to me that, if that question where if you could go to dinner with anybody, or even if they were dead or alive or fictional, Sashi would be that woman I would want to sit across from. She is someone I would love to know, just to even shake her hand and tell her how extraordinary she is. Now, the funny thing is that the ending is wrapped up in such a beautiful way and such a believable way. And I loved the way that everything came together at the end, which is a criticism that I had for River East, River West. But so be it. I just think that, Sashi slowly writing everything down just so that she can come to terms with it, and that evolving into something else. And I love the story of everyone. This is not a easy book to read. There were parts where, small parts of my soul were taken. I was driving home one night, and there is a scene with Kay, every scene with Sashi and Kay was just like being punched in the gut. It was so well done. But I had to pull over and stop and listen to it. Otherwise, it would have been risky. Anyways, I love this book. I love the cover. It's in this book, none of these books, actually, except for Kate Grenfell's and Anne Enright's books, would have even been on my radar if it hadn't been for the Women's Prize. So thank you so much, Women's Prize, and thank you to the judges who read all of those books, and I'm sure had lots of very difficult conversations. But let's get to the winner. All right. Okay, I think I have the right email, but let's see. So the winner of the Women's Prize this year is Brotherless Night. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. What an extraordinary book. And I'm practically on the edge of tears just talking about it. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you spending your time with me. Let me know what you thought of the Women's Prize. Have you read Bloodless Night? Are you going to go purchase a copy or get one from your library? Are you going to listen to it on audio? Have you read it? What did you think of this announcement? Also, if you wanted to hear or watch my Longlist review, I will link it in the description box below. And please like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel, and I appreciate it. So thanks again. Happy reading season. We're through Canada Reads, we're through International Booker, and now Women's Prize. And this has been a fantastic reading year. So there's a couple more weeks before the Booker Prize is announced, but I will keep making videos, and I will see you soon. Bye. How was that, Ruth? How was that, my lovely girl?